Welcome back everybody to another episode of The Creating. And today I finished up our subway station entrance and I just made a little bit of a area down here where people can wait. If it is raining, you also have an upstairs area where you can just chillax and just wait for your train. Of course, you can still also ask for your tickets, just like that. You're gonna get yourself a ticket. And with your ticket, you just use it and you can go down onto your subway station, which at the moment is like this. As you guys can see, I put up some paintings to like posters and stuff like that. I think they look cool here. We also have an easier access over here to the ethanol train, which whenever he comes up, we also have it actually linked here so we can see. And we will be working on another train here, like a personal train, which at the moment is not fully finished, so we're gonna do something else at this time because I'm still kind of tinkering with the design of the train. There's a couple extra features to the base, as for example this entrance, which is right in front of the subway station, and there's a few extra machineries down here, and these ones are making me limestone and blackstone. So let's quickly take a look at these. They're pretty simple. This one is the blackstone one, regular just cobblestone one, where the cobblestone is actually then being, well, haunted right here, so it turns into blackstone, like so. And then the only difference is that this one, to produce limestone, you actually don't use water, you use honey. And to get liquid honey, it's pretty simple. Well, I guess you should actually just type normal honey. Yep. You just get yourself either some bottles and then put it into an item drain, or you could just use some honey blocks and just heat up with some blazes, and boom, you got yourself a honey, like a bucket of honey. And then you just place them down like this. If you want to know exactly, you gotta put it like here, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks. That's how much it goes. And then that other one is a lava. When the lava comes into here, that's where the limestone creates itself. So it's not the honey flowing into the lava, it's the lava flowing into the honey, because the honey actually has priority and actually moves faster, I guess, than the lava. So if you put these two too close together, the honey will eat up the lava. And so as the train station or the subway station is getting ready, and we still have to do that part like on this side somewhere, we're going to be moving into the immersive engineering area, where there's a lot of cool things that's going to be happening. The first of which is actually item transportation. Well, the item transportation here is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be using some of these excavators all around to gather up some resources. And for example, there's one there, there's going to be another one there, there's going to be another one there, and another one there. And there's a couple of things that these allow us to do, which, well, sort of like this factory, for example, the steel factory. I think this one looks really, really cool, but we still don't have a proper way of managing our resources here, the ones that we're getting. Why? Is because this is kind of in the corner of this area, and there's another excavator that's going to be there, and there's another one that's going to be there, and another one that's going to be there. The power plant is still going to be a little bit bigger to actually implement a lot more boilers, like 4 more boilers, for example. So we're also going to be working on that. And that brings us to how we're going to get things to move around from one factory to another. Well, that item transportation is going to be made with trucks. Yes, I want to make roads between the facilities, I guess you could call them that, the factories. And we're going to have some of these trucks laying around. And at the moment, you can see, well, he's moving, but you can't right understand how, right? And it's moving perfectly timed and stuff like that. How is this happening? Well, I'm using trains, yes, and I'm using this little dude as our conductor down here, and there's like 2 train thingies that are actually moving the different parts of the train. So it gets a little bit of a more natural feel on the curves, like this one turns and then this one takes a little bit. There's no junction there, which I probably should add something there. But I like how it looks. I like how it looks. And yes, and I'm also using some of these Create Steam and Rails new tracks, which are these narrow tileless track trains or train tracks. They look pretty cool, and they're super small, which kind of helps with the aesthetic of having like a small contraption like under the ground. And the good thing about this is that we technically have a truck that's moving and doing things, and we do have the portable storage interfaces there, which means we can have access to this item vault like here, and then we can put items in and we can take items out where we want them to do that. So I think that's a really cool addition that we can add to our world. And of course, these being trains, we can schedule different trains to do different things. But that also means that we need this like underground network of rails. So I came up with this. This is basically just a contraption mainly designed to dig these underground holes. It's gonna do a 5x4 tall, yeah, in terms of digging, but it's also gonna be sure to place these around to, well, block any water. So what I did is actually went ahead and made these a blueprint, because if you haven't noticed, I'm actually in the creative test world, by the way. Yeah, I made a blueprint for both of these. I think that the blueprint for the truck, no, yeah, I did it exactly as I have it here, I believe. I may have just tweaked some things, I don't think, but I think it's still the same. And we should have a blueprint for this truck and a blueprint for this contraption. And I needed one extra contraption because we needed tracks, and I'm gonna use these narrow tileless train tracks because they're narrow and they look like they're only like the iron part of the rail, which is kind of cool, you know. It's kind of cool. I kind of like them, and I didn't necessarily need to use the underground train to do the truck. Like I could just use these rails and put them like above ground. That would work as well. That would probably like be even faster than what I'm doing. Just so you guys know. But I kind of like the idea of having like an underground train, you know, and like having an underground network of things that if something goes wrong, I can go underground and check that. And then I have the upper part where it just looks like a regular truck is going around. Man, this is so satisfying to watch. Just schematic canning doing its thing. It's very satisfying. Oh guys, well, I got a little bit of news. It's gonna go in the middle of the video because as of right now we are on CurseForge. Yes, so if you want to maybe do something like this and have your world end up looking like mine, which sometimes it's a little bit of a mess, but I think it looks cool, you now have access to my pack in the CurseForge launcher. You can either search for Vlofast's creating pack or world. I guess it's creating world. Or you can go to the link down below in the description and it should give you a direct link for it. So enjoy everybody. But now on to the rest. And yes, I have taken some time to put that guy going around, doing some laps just to see how it looks, and it looks amazing, by the way. It should stop around there-ish. Because I have like a stop there. Yep, there he is. A little bit hidden away. Yep, there he is. And I also made these roads. Yes, which is where he's gonna go around and just, well, take items from this factory and from other areas around here. We'll get to those in a second. And I also made these lamps. These are powered lamps from Immersive Engineering. Now, unfortunately, they do not have a direct connection with these guys. With these large connectors from Create Crafted Edition. But it's okay. I just have this LV accumulator, which is getting powered by, well, our boilers, and then just sending the power from this to there. And you might be wondering, well, how is it actually sending the power? There's nothing here. Well, there is. But as it turns out, if you see, yep, there's a wire there. I can break it, the wire pops out. But on right now with immersive engineering, these wires are not showing, and it is not from the shaders, because I tried without the shaders and they're still not showing. So there isn't actually a way of seeing the wires at the moment. I believe that's something they should fix. All the wires still work, so I'm just using them, and the only wire you see there, this is actually from the connectors themselves, because those connectors are not directly powering the lantern. They're just sending the power through, so we can move on into what's gonna be another massive building. Now, this building is gonna be interesting. You see, right here, I want to make a place where I store the items that I'm getting from back there, basically, because I'm gonna have like a wall of resources being gathered back there, and then I want to place down specific trucks to go to specific factories, sending the specific resources. You guys follow along with that? I think I do. Because you see, immersive engineering has a lot of cool things, and some of those cool things, for example, this bad boy is an auto crafter. We do have the create auto crafter as well, but these guys look so cool that I really want to automate some of these bad boys. And there's also a couple of things that we can't directly automate with create. For example, if you take a look at these powered lanterns, they take these incandescent light bulbs, and these bad boys can be automated, but they need an automated engineer's workbench. So if you type here workbench, you can see this bad boy right here, and this guy has access to the blueprints from immersive engineering and will auto craft the items if I give it the proper inputs. And this is where our trains, or trucks I should say, are going to come along to take the items into the proper place, so then they can be delivered, and then they can actually create the things that we need. So for example, if we take a look at the blueprints, there's quite a lot of things that need these blueprints. For example, this graphite electrodes, but most importantly, these items right here from the crafting components. I want to automate these, the steel mechanical components. We have steel automated, we just need to press it down, and we got steel plates. We're going to automate copper with an excavator. We do still need to automate this Duroplast, the Duroplast sheet, so we can automate advanced electronic components and circuit backpoints, because these backpoints can use to make this logic unit, which I don't really know what it does, but I kind of like the idea of automating all of these pieces. This one, the advanced electronic component, gives us miniature Tesla coils, because why not? And maybe some gun turrets and some chemical turrets, plus a rail gun. We can do a bunch of cool things with immersive engineering. I can't wait to try and do some things with this. And I think there's still, yep, there's still this. We can make a shop to just give us guns and give us ammunition. That's why not. And then we also have some of these pressing molds, but these ones I don't think we need to automate. These ones are meant to like one-time use, so then we can use them in either the bottling machine, or I believe it's on the metal press, so you can do some of these recipes a little bit easier. We do also have a create recipes for most of these, so create will most likely be the way of making these. For example, these gold rods, we can just put it into a rolling mill and we get the gold rods. We don't need the metal press itself, but there's a couple of these that actually are limited. For example, if you want to get this recipe for this oil, well, I guess we can use honeycomb, for example. It's not really that much of a big deal, but this one, the graphite, does need to come either from an engineer's workbench with an automated engineer's workbench, or from a metal press. The metal press, for some reason, only gives these guys at 50% integrity. I never understood this, because if you make it at an engineer's workbench, you get 100. Like, if you guys know what's happening here, please let me know, because I have no idea why they did this. Oh yeah, and you can see clearly like the terraforming I had to do, and there's like even some of the earlier poles here. I don't really need these anymore. I'm gonna just break them and get the resources back, because the power is actually going from these guys now, which is a lot cooler. If you want to know how I made these, just get these steel posts, really easy, steel fences and stone brick. You place them down, and you can use an engineer's hammer to just make this extension by right clicking.
And if you make one, you can make another one on the other side. And then if you right click them, they go away. And then of course, let's just grab onto the lantern and the connectors. And whoops, lantern and connector. And these posts are actually climbable. So you can just climb them normally. It's a really cool feature that they have. I do have a jetpack, so most of the time I don't really need it. But if you ever want to climb these ones manually, like in the early stages, you can do this. You can do that really easily. But I was gonna start with the warehouse right here, but then I realized I don't really have many things to store. I only have the steel right now, and if I only storing the steel, there's not really much purpose because I don't have any uses for it. And I don't want to finish the power plant right now because I have other plans for this area. I think it's going to be around this area where I'll have a special truck that would come here, gather some things. We'll get to that when we get to that. I got some ideas for it, but we need more resources. And I actually went around and got a bunch of these guys, like I said on the previous episodes. That's where we actually got that excavator. These were actually places where I went ahead and used the miner survey tools. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, it doesn't work. But we have this right there. We have this. This is 100% auric pride. Yeah, maybe I butchered that a lot. Basically, what that means is that this is a vein that, if we go to the minerals area, it's a vein of copper and gold. It has 75% copper, 25% gold. The cool thing about this is this actually have deep slate, so this is a way of for ourselves to get some deep slate. And there's a bunch of these. I already have a bituminous coal vein there. I have this auric one here. We have a chalcopyrite here, which gives us some iron and some copper. And right over here, we also have a galena ore, which is 100% galena, which gives us lead. Now, I still need a couple of extra ones. We need a laterite. These ones for nether. We need a pentlandite because we need access to nickel. And there is, this one is also a very important one to get ourselves hands in zinc. Uraninite is also a very good one because it gives us lead and it gives us uranium. This one is a little bit rarer, and I don't think I have seen... Yeah, it's the galena one. Also gives us silver, which is very, very important because silver is kind of used a little bit. And the most important for me at the moment right now is cinnabar. And luckily for me, I have a cinnabar right there. Ideally, I would like it to be more over that area because then all my resources could have come from there, but it's all right. It can come from here. I don't mind. And I'm taking my power supply a step further because I want to make sure that whatever happens, I never run out of power. So for that, of course, we will have to make more of these bioethanol, probably even have like a bigger surplus of bioethanol, probably around here. So I have a little bit more tanks. We'll have a building to make more of these, but I did this thing right here, which is a couple, or I guess I should say 3 accumulators. And all 3 of them can hold 54 million FE. And I've set them up through here, right here. I initially had them hooked up to this LV accumulator, but this guy only was sending 256 FE. This guy is sending like 5.4 thousand FE, so that's a lot better because it's directly attached to this system right here. So all of these 5.4k, it's from a single boiler, which means we technically have 10,000 plus if I hook up that one. So we have a lot of power. It's basically one boiler is equivalent to one of those excavators, which I went around and I have that one over there. We have that one over there, that one over there, and I still need to make the other one over there for cinnabar. That one I need to get a little bit more resources, but I wanted to start accumulating power because I actually have this guy hooked up into a redstone link, which means that he is not always consuming power. That is because if it's constantly using power, the coal would just get voided. Like it would just immediately get voided because this would produce a lot more than what these guys inside of here can handle, and that's the main goal. I want to hook up every single one of those machines to the storage that they are working with. So if that storage doesn't need to run or to get filled up, it will not activate the excavator itself. It's basically this system right here. You put a threshold switch into, well, in this case, this drawer, and whenever it reaches a certain amount of items, it will switch up. It will make the excavator turn on, and then it will make it turn on and give us the coal. And I'm going to do that for all of my bad boys over here, because that will mean that we can save a lot of power, and I don't really feel that bad on having a bunch of those lanterns, because they do actually use a little bit of power. Not much, but I think they do. I'm pretty sure they do. And so now our truck can come around and actually have a place to get items they put into him, which is this little truck station right over here that we have some, well, for some reason, some lanterns that don't give off light. They might be bugged out. So I'll probably replace these with something else. Yeah, these are a little bit bugged out. Maybe it's the shader. Maybe if I reload the shaders. No, they seem to be a little bit bugged out, so I'll just switch these ones around either for regular ones or some other ones. Or maybe probably the pack needs updated, which it might need. And I made these belts that are now bringing in a ton of resources into here. And of course, we do have these drawers being voided. I guess for now, it's easier if I just held this. Yes, as you can see, they're all being voided whenever they reach 2000. And I'm not exporting yet because the truck doesn't really have anywhere to take these things as of yet. And I'm actually going to make this building a blueprint so I can actually just place this bad boy down in other areas, because we will have other collection zones, for example, on other areas, or either loading zones like from other factories, so that all of those items can go into the main building. So I know today took a long time, you know, the video has probably been delayed by a couple of days because I had work and all those things, but it is done and we have functional trucks. He doesn't have nowhere to go, so he's just looping around doing his own things. But that's going to be on the next episode. We're going to build a place for him to take all of these cool resources, and we're going to actually be processing all of these ones. So stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and of course, and as always, see ya in the next one. Bye.